Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So I gonna study for final exam coming the day after tomorrow, which is Thursday, and I mean I literally have no touch to my course material, but I believe that I can make it. So it is possible to share my screen, like, I mean, I want to share my screen, but I don't know how. Let me think. Oh, maybe can share the Google Docs by using this. Guys, uh, can you see this one? Yeah. Yeah. It's okay for you guys to see this document. I'm sharing what I'm studying, and so hopefully it is encourage you guys to study some, you know, sensory food science. So yeah, let's get started. So today it's gonna be talking about temporal method, descriptive analysis, instrumental measurement. I think we have to study about instrumental measurements of sensory properties, which is lecture 10. Lecture 10. So this is my first time to use Google Docs for preparing for the final exam, because I don't like to type on the Google document or some memo on laptop, but I will do that. So essentially, we have some color vision. So I will look around the slide and pick up some information and just write down. Like review when right before going to the final exam. Maybe it does work. So let's get started. How do we perceive color? Retina. Wow, yeah. So I'm thinking about like how to apply this knowledge to my field of expertise, like conducting when I conduct some the mass spectrometry research, I need to change the running condition or for each um like for each GC or LC mass whatever running. For example, the condition of stationary phase or how to say mobile phase, like so polarity and so chemical composition of mobile phase are have significant effect for the separation competence and how to say the efficiency, which is the how quick the GC running will finish. So I'm still trying to figure out how to optimize the GC condition by using some uh you know statistics knowledge. So maybe it is helpful someday. But to today I need to get the minimum point to pass this courses. So yeah, I think it's another story. So anyways, color has three dimensions. Dimension dimensions of color, which is hue, lightness, and hue, lightness, and chroma. Saturation, no saturation, man. Hue, lightness, saturation, HLS, hue, lightness, three dimension, and like hue is wavelength of the light to which the color corresponds. Hue is like um wavelengths of lights. Yeah, it's quite understandable. And visible visible one is like 400 to 700 nanometer visible. Think visible light is among, yep. And then lightness determines how light or dark a color is in terms of reflected light or brightness. How light or dark. Yeah, that makes sense. Then what is saturation, man? For a particular hue, this describes a monochromatic message, and like saturation is like grayness, white and black, white and black. It's like yeah, white and black. That makes sense. And then carefully attributes the underlying the panel extensively. Scale in one dimension. Specifies the light source. Illumination, sensory variation of color. Illumination. Natural light is highly variable. It is better to use artificial illumination. Yeah, true. Sample should be assessed under illumination that most closely matches normal viewing conditions. So I decided that I will I never coming back to each slide. Um Instead I will really I will be focusing on reading the lecture slide and write down the key essence on this document and only the key factors. So not write down all of it. It just write down something important in this document and just review before going to the final exam. So yeah, okay. Let me focus on reading the slide. So if you if you don't mind, just listen my the my reading, my voice. Uh, how to say ondoku? Reading aloud. Okay, reading aloud. It's simple. All right, and then illumination. Sample should be assessed under illumination that most closely matches normal viewing conditions. When relating sensory and instrumental measurements, takes the energy spectra of the light sources into account. What do you mean? When relating sensory and instrumental measurements, takes the energy spectra of the light sources into account. Mhm. Watch for metamerism. What is metamerism? Relating to or consisting of several similar segments of some somites having the same. What is that? I see. I don't know. It's just skip it. No, metamers is color matches with different tristimulus values. Their resemblance is dependent on the light sources. Sensory evaluation of color, right? Like CIE, International Commission on Illumination. The color stimulus is matched by the blending of red, green, and blue primaries. The properties of each primary are plotted in a two-dimensional space called the CIE chromaticity chart. Three stimulus values obtained from a so-called standard observer. CIE chromaticity diagram. Colorimetry is like CIE International Commission of Illumination. はい。あれ、colorimetry ね。The Menzel color spaces. A color is defined in terms of its hue, value, and chroma. Alright, it is important, I guess. Menzel uh, color space. It's like hue, value, chroma. Chroma. So the like chroma is like I don't know what is chroma about. Oh wait, and Hunter coordinate system coordinate system. It's specifically like L means lightness, how bright is the lightness, and A means red to green as usual, and B is yellow to blue. Maybe is probably it's important. But next, texture. Texture is also important, man. Texture is a sensory property. Only the human beings can perceive, describe, and quantify texture. Texture, just like flavor, is a multiple parameter attribute. The human sensory apparatus is uniquely equipped to deal with the spectrum of mechanical as well as geometrical characteristics. Um, it's kind of mouse washing uh, words. Mouse washing. It's also mouse. No, sorry, mouse feeding. No, 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 no. Mouse. How to say? Big mouse. Mouse ordering. Right. Oh, mouthful. I see. Mouthful. It's like mouth of the liver. Mouthful. Okay, that's mouthful. Alright, I finally got it. Mouthful. It's kind of like mouthful. Mouthful. So mechanical as well as geometrical characteristics. I see. So then sensory texture measurement. How to measure the sensory texture. So then sensory evaluation of texture is a like um process with respect to force, time, temperature, and influence of saliva. Biting, chewing, swallowing, and tongue motions, etc., must be predetermined and standardized. Wow. See, those sensory texture profile is means like the sensory analysis of the texture of a complex food in terms of its mechanical, geometrical, fat, and moisture characteristics, the degree of each present, and the order in which they appear from first bite through complete mastication. Let's see, interesting. So texture profile. Okay. This one should be should take notes. Mechanical properties, geometrical properties, fat and moisture content. So what is texture like profiles? Maybe it is important. Texture profile. Let me read the first. Mechanical properties. Primary, hardness, cohesiveness, springiness, adhesiveness, viscosity. And secondary mechanical properties are uh, fluc- fluctuability, chewiness, and gumminess. What is fluctuability? Fluctuability is, you think? I don't know. Fluctuability means the tendency of a material to fluctuate, crumble, crack, shatter, or fail upon the application of a relatively small amount of force or impact. And then, what is adhesiveness? Sorry, what is adhesiveness? It's like stickiness. I'm able to stick first to a surface or object. Okay. And springiness is like the ability of an object or material to resume its original shape or position after being compressed. So, yeah, it is springiness. And cohesiveness is the quality of forming a united whole. So, cohesiveness. You can imagine like that. And geometrical properties. So, what is geometrical properties? It is the size and shape, powdery or chalky, grainy, gritty, lumpy, belly, and shape and orientation. I cannot understand, but powdery, how powder it is. And chalky, a chalk, is it not chalk? Chalk is consisting of or rich in chalk, like pale powder stuff, and grainy. Grainy is also like particle, like granular, like having prominent grain, like gritty. What is gritty? Gritty is also like containing or covered with grit, like sandy. It's sandy stuff. The lumpy is like full of or covered with lumps. Lump is like you know camel. Camel has two or three lumps on their back. So this is lump. And Betty, what is Betty? Betty is like sorry, beady, beady, small, round, and gleaming. It's like bees. So how busy it is? It is beady. And the shape and orientation, like flaky. What is flaky? Oh, it's like flake, breaking or separating easily into small thin pieces. Like my skin is like flake out, stuff like that. Fibers also there a lot. And next, the third attributes for texture profile is fat and moisture content. It is easy to understand. It is moistness, dryness, oiliness, fattiness. So essentially, first mechanical properties. Mechanical properties and geometrical properties. I finally understand what is geometrical properties. Properties and uh, the oily, fat and moisture content. Fat and moisture content. This is also important when you evaluate the texture. It is easy to understand. And next, texture profile. Texture attributes are subdivided according to order of appearance. What do you mean? Initial, perceived at first bite, and masticatory. So mastication means the chewing and perceived upon chewing. And next, residual. So, for example, you when you eat something sticky, uh, after you masticate a lot, and after you masticate the food a lot, the products changed to something like different stuff compared to the original one. So this is change the products changes induced during mastication and swallowing after feel. Yeah, which is after feel basically. And next, instrumental measurement of texture. Instruments can be used to measure the texture of foods. For example, Magnus Taylor puncture testers, Bloom gyrometer, Kramer shear press. So like mm, um mouthful words, but it's like I think we don't have to memorize all of it. Yeah, instrumental measurement of texture. The only one things I took memo is Instron universal testing machine, which is significant amount of sample. I don't know why, but it is like stuff like that. So, and next, Bostwick viscometer. I like, I like it. Bostwick viscometer is like we used Bostwick viscometer when we measured the viscosity of tomato can in the lab 5 or 6, I forgot. And next, Werner Brutter Schiller is measuring hardness, functional hardness, and like try twice, first bite, second bite. Puncture puncturometer. Let me Google it. Puncturometer. What is this? This is puncturometer. Anyways, go 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 go. Other approaches to texture measurement is electromyography, recording muscle activity in the oral cavity shows how chewy the meat is, and like time intensity. It's so useful. And next, electromyography. Like, so what about taste? Aside from the texture or color, what about taste? So taste is essentially like sweetness, saltiness, sourness, umami, bitterness. Reflective properties of reducing sugars. Saltiness is conductivity of salt. Sourness is pH and titrative acidity. Umami is conductivity of MSG. monosodium glutamate. And bitterness is like specific applications, like iso humirones in beer, stuff like that. So, and the aroma is also important. The aroma and flavor of foods and beverages are caused by volatile compounds which can be separated, quantified, and identified by gas chromatography and mass spectrometry, which is GC-mass, which is my favorite. Next, the quality of individual volatiles can be assessed by GC exit port sniff. So we observed some GC machine in the food science laboratory. It is attached some the machine that is able to smell the volatile compounds, which is so nice. The next, gas chromatography, I know it. Gas chromatography, GC olfactometry, and aroma flavor detection recognition thresholds vary greatly among volatile compounds. It is of course, and some volatile compounds display inhibitory or synergistic effects. Synergistic effects. You know what? And the full flavor experience is impossible to recreate using only instrumental measurements. So the full flavor experience is impossible to recreate using only instrumental measurements. It's because it's so complicated. It is almost impossible to fully measure by only by instrument. We need to conduct some descriptive analysis. And next, electronic notes, electronic tank. Oh, super high-tech stuff. Limited application to screening of raw materials. Yeah, I see. Based on sensors that respond to specific functional groups. I see. And next, sensory panel or instrument. Color, go with an instrument. And texture, mouthfeel, tribals. Flavor, most often sensory. Yeah, this should be color is like color should go with instrument and texture is both and like flavor descriptive analysis most of sensory. Okay, gotcha. This one is like the lecture 10 contents. And next, lecture 11. So for your information, I took the lecture 10 to like 17. So I have 8 lectures in total, which is um so sad. Aside from aside from when you are making an exception. I see. Aside from Jane, the common motives for murder, apart from Barbara. Apart from, except for, which, yeah, and let's see, how to say disability. It's hopeless, desperate. It's hopeless. Because I have a lot of things to do. Um, but I think I can make it. Um, lecture 11. Okay, next. So what is lecture 11 about? Lecture 11 is basically about multivariate statistics. So my favorite part, statistics, multi-analysis of variance, data matrix, correlation, covariance, factor analysis method, classification methods, regression methods, stuff like that. Let's go. MANOVA is multivariate analysis of variance. MANOVA is an extension of analysis of variance, which is used to analyze the variance of a variable. So, but it examines the variance of multiple variables. So, yeah, it's true. Yeah. That's obvious. That's obvious. MANOVA determines whether significant differences exist among treatments when compared across all dependent variables of interest, or not. Yeah, it's pretty obvious as well. And whereas ANOVA evaluates one dependent variable at a time, MANOVA analyzes all the dependent variables simultaneously. Yeah, it's obvious. Next, MANOVA provides a single F statistic based on Wilks lambda, which assesses the influence of all variables simultaneously. A significant F statistic due to a small Wilks lambda means that the samples are significantly different across dependent variables and warrants individual ANOVAs for each variables. What do you mean? So I don't know, but MANOVA provides a single F statistics based on Wilks lambda. Hmm. A significant F statistic means that the samples are significantly different across dependent variables and warrants. What is warrants? Warrants means a document issued by a legal or government official authorizing, I don't know. Reason. See, maneuver is performing first protects the statistician against an inflated overall type 1 error rate that can be brought about by a high number of individual ANOVAs. MANOVA. MANOVA. Mano- Protects us from type 1 error. Why? So basically, type 1 error is type 1 error. Type 1 error is a false positive, or when the hypothesis test incorrectly rejects a null hypothesis that is true. Alright. Incorrectly. Incorrectly reject null hypothesis. Which is true. ことだね。So, for example, type 1 error is the false negative, right? False negative. No, false positive. Why? Oh, reject null hypothesis means positive, so type 1 error is false positive. So Actually, there are no significant difference among the properties. If you uh, if you failed in type 1 error, you reject the null hypothesis and accept the the no, So why maneuver protects us from the false positive? That is the point. When assessing differences across multiple variables, for example, descriptive analysis data, one should therefore perform a maneuver first, and then if the products are different per the maneuver, individual maneuvers for each variables. Maneuver, maneuver first, then maneuvers. ずっと So first, and briefly know what is difference among those groups, and oh, it looks like there is some difference in this group. So let's conduct an overlay to confirm if there is a truly difference in this attributes. So and finally, maneuver also examines collinearity. Collinearity. What is collinearity? Means collinearity is a term used collinearity through the covariance matrix among the variables, which can point to a group of variables discriminating among the products, thus guarding against type 2 error. Okay, so it is also prevent type 2 error as well. Also examines collinearity against type 2 error. Why? Type 2 error is false negative, right? So incorrectly accept null hypothesis, which is false, is type 2 error. Type 2 error is false negative. So false null hypothesis is incorrectly accepted. Is type 2 error. Collinearity. And then, yeah, okay, MANOVA is enough. This F statistics is important for ANOVA and MANOVA, right? And data matrix, okay. The principle, I don't know the principle, so I just skip it. Correlation and covariance. From the original matrix of n object and p variables, we can derive a correlation matrix or a covariance matrix. The covariance, like between two variables x and y, is a measure of their linear association. The statistician calculates the correlation between two variables by dividing the covariance with the product of their respective standard deviations. Therefore, correlation is a unitless scaled covariance measure. Correlation means like uh, it's obvious, and correlation and covariance means 교相関 correlation is like 相関と共分散相関係数共分散 In general, correlation is the most useful measure of interdependence between variables because correlation are directly comparable regardless of the units by which the variables are measured. Use correlation when dealing with variables measured in different units. Use covariance otherwise. Use covariance except when units are different. 時はコリレーション。コリレーション。表分差。Factor analysis methods or bilinear methods of analysis attempt to describe a data matrix in terms of the sum of a few underlying latent factors. Axis latent factors. What is latent factors? Oh, I see. Latent. Like hidden factors, right? These factors constitute a simpler access system. For example, space of lower dimension, typically 2 or 3, than the p-dimensional space spanned by the original p-variable in the data matrix. Factor analysis methods this is how factor analysis methods Factor analysis method is usually consists of two independent steps. First, rank reduction, finding the number of important factors in the data matrix. Each factor is described in terms of its factor scores for then an object and its factor loadings of the p-variables. And then factor interpretation, finding the linear reverse transformation of the obtained factors that is most sustainable for understanding the results. So essentially, what is factor analysis? So rank reduction. Rank reduction is finding the number of important factors. Okay. And factor interpretation. Principal component analysis is a representative factor analysis, right? PCA first locates the center of gravity for the data clouds. Then it is researches for the straight line that accounts for as much as possible of the variation in the data cloud. And finally, it searches for a new line that accounts for as much as possible of the remaining variation and so on. The so-called principal components are plotted as biplots with the objects and or the variables. That makes sense? The principal component analysis is like the linear combination of the original variables and the new variables or principal components are mutually orthogonal. Mutually orthogonal. What do you mean? Okay. Mutually orthogonal. Okay. This is English problem. Mutually orthogonal. I see. And then mutually, no, sorry, account for decreasing amounts of variance. Eigenvalues associated with each a PC with an eigenvalue above 1 usually some insignificance, not in the statistical sense of the term. This is known as the Kaiser criterion. Okay. So much information, that's enough. tomorrow it's gonna be raining. It is sad. So Asian values is an like Asian values associated with PC. This is known as a PCA. Oh wait, I'll say yeah. So Asian values. The original variables are drawn on the vector. A small angle between. Okay, okay. A hypothetical profile showing four variables A, B, C, and D across based on okay. Alright, PCA example is fine. Okay. I didn't fully understand the meaning of principal components analysis, but it's okay. Unlike other factor analysis methods, PCA does not require that the number of objects uh, does require uh, require that the number of object be much higher than the number of variables. Mm-hmm. Is P. And lucky. canonical produce analysis method used to analyze free choice profiling data that reconciles multiple matrices of attribute rating across products into a consensus biplot of products and attributes. I see. Method used to analyze free choice profiling data that reconcile multiple matrices of attributes rating across. What is that? Pro Produce. What is this? Free choice. Profiling data. Reconciles. Correspondence analysis is the easier version of like PCA factor analysis method, which is correspondence analysis. CATA data is used.コンシューマーも使えると。Correspondence analysis 上、オリーブオイルは肩など。Classification method analyze the differences or similarities between classes. What do you mean? In order to distinguish between differences. Okay. Discriminant analysis. All right. So that's it. Maybe. Um, I have no idea. That's it.